Hey there, you're welcome to C-Tek Weekly Update on C-TekGh. Gideon once again, and as mentioned earlier on, this week is filled with releases from our favorite brands on the market. So yeah, don't go nowhere, just sit down there. Hey, before then, subscribe, like, yeah. Let's start with Infinix. What did they release this week? This week, we saw a release of the Infinix 0X, that is 010, and then the 10 Pro or X Pro, and then the X New. And they mentioned that it actually has something they call periscope cameras. What does it mean? Well, before we actually move on, these three phones have certain things in common. And one of them is actually their camera that they kind of mentioned and put more emphasis on. They mentioned that their camera can actually take pictures of the moon. No, not like your regular moon pictures. This time around, it can take clear pictures of the moon. And they have this algorithm dubbed the Galileo engine, which allows the phone to take clear pictures of the moon, process the pictures for you to have a very clear outcome. Aside that, as was mentioned, they have very similar characteristics. So let's start with the basic specifications. The Infinix 010 Pro. Screen resolution is about 1080 by 2400 pixels, and it runs on Android 11. XOS version is 7.6. Octa-core CPU, that is 2 by 2.04 GHz, and chipset is Mali G76 MC4, 60 megapixel front camera with dual flashlight, and then 108 megapixel rear camera with quad LED flash. And all related technicalities, of course. Then video shoot, it can shoot up to 4K videos and also 1080 pixel. It has 4,500 milliamps, that is mAh battery, non-removable, and it has fast charging ability. Of course, Infinix has been trying their best to promote much of these fast charging capabilities in most of their phones. But this time around, I don't know, it turns out to be one of the best, as it comes with 45 watts charging ability. It means it's able to charge your phone from 1 or 0% to 40% in just 15 minutes. It also comes packed with a lot of memory space for you out there who are actually interested much in phones with bigger space. Of course, we all need bigger space for most of our regular activities. And being a phone of this capacity, you should be able to pack some huge memory, and of course it did. So it comes with 128 GB with 8 GB RAM memory variant. And we also have 256 GB internal with 8 GB RAM. That is for the 10 Pro. But as was mentioned, they didn't just release the 10 Pro. It also came, most of the times Infinix comes with the Pro and the normal version or the LTE versions. So we have Infinix 010, which also packs some specific abilities as the Pro. But then these are just the few differences that we have. So I'm going to mention the differences. So if you don't hear something here, it means it has the same capability with the Pro. Here we have the memory side being 128 GB and 8 GB RAM, which means we don't have the 256 GB variant in the Infinix 0X. Then also camera is just 64 megapixel rear and 16 megapixel front, along with some other technical aspects that we did not talk about here. But then these ones, aside what has been mentioned, have the same specifications as the Pro. Then we also have the Infinix 010 New. Storage is 128 GB with 8 GB RAM, and it also runs on Android 11. 48 megapixel. Then also there was a release of the Infinix 010 New. As was mentioned, these releases actually have some things in common, but then the ones that they don't have in common is what we are mentioning, aside the Pro. So the Neo also comes with a storage of 128 GB with 8 GB RAM, and it has 3 rear cameras. We have the 48 megapixel, we have the 8 megapixel, and another 8 megapixel rear camera, which is said to be used in the capturing of huge graphic pictures. It also runs on Android 11, and the battery capacity is around 5,000 milliamps, which is 5,000 mAh. We have 6.78-inch screen size, and it is 1080 by 2460 pixels. So that is all about Infinix releases, and these phones were actually released on September 13th, so they are new on the market. Price tags not very much available, so you can please check them up. Maybe we may leave a link down here if you want to know the prices. All right, so we actually had some release from Apple too. You know, Apple definitely would bring something when we talk about releases. So the iPhone 13 is only out. So if you don't know, yes, it is out. But it looks a bit familiar to the iPhone 12 series. Just that this one has some more tinier notch. And it is said that the display has a higher refresh rate. And Apple actually calls this the Pro Motion. Also, we had some iPad minis coming into the market with more refreshed look. And then also the regular iPad that you already know, the new ones that were actually rolled out by Apple this September 14th. And am I right? Yeah. It has some improved performance. So that is all from Apple. But then to have more knowledge about the basic specs of the phones, we probably leave a link in the description to our website, or you can just simply visit C-TekGh.com and then you can search iPhone 13. It will give you all the specs about the newly released iPhones by Apple. Let's come back to Android. There's these new releases from this company which is trying its best to emerge much more in Ghana, if not just Ghana, then Africa, Xiaomi. They also released the Xiaomi 11T Pro and then the 11T series. Let me give you the specs of the Pro. We have screen resolution around 1080 by 2400 pixels. It also runs on Android 11. Chipsets, we have Qualcomm SM8350 Snapdragon 8885G. CPU is octa-core, GPU is Adreno 660. It's so beautiful how most of these phones coming up actually have GPU supporting it for all your highly rated performing whatever functions. Then also memory set is around 128 gigabytes, 8 gig RAM, and 256 gigabytes and 8 gig RAM, and then 256 gigabytes and 12 gig RAM variant, triple camera 108 pixel, and then 8 megapixel, and then 5 megapixel. Video shoot, it can actually shoot 8K videos, the phone, 4K videos, and 1080 pixels. Hold on, let me actually say something to blow your mind. All of us are actually interested in phones that charge fast, so you hear people talking about fast charging phones. And yeah, it's nice to have a fast charging phone. You just plug in, you try to get some breakfast, and your phone is back to normal, so you can actually use it for the rest of the day. This phone has 5000 milliamp battery, and it comes with a fast charging ability. It has a fast charging of 120 watts, which means that the phone can charge from 0 to 72 in just 10 minutes and 100% in just 17 minutes. 0 to 100 in just 17 minutes. Actually, my phone can charge from 0% to 100% in 6 hours. Yeah, literally throughout the night. Xiaomi, one Pro move there. Then we also have the Xiaomi 11T specs, which has some equal specifications as well with the 11T Pro. So I'll also mention some of the things that the 11T has different from the 11T Pro. So if I don't mention something, they know that it has the same specs. The first one, I will actually make it clear to you that the 11T does not have the 12GB RAM variant. Then it doesn't shoot videos at 8K. So if you want 8K video shoots, then please be looking at the 10T Pro. Then also it comes with a 60 megapixel selfie camera. Then charge capability, we have 65 watts, which is, it can charge from 0 to 100 in 36 minutes, unlike the Pro that can actually charge your phone from 0 to 100 in 17 minutes. Aside some other things that we didn't mention. Some of the specifications were actually not mentioned here because we decided to mention the ones that are very much basic and are very much useful and of interest to all of us. The rest of the technical stuff, we leave it to the technical people. Whatever the case, we may leave a link so you can check it up on the website if you're that kind of a technical guy. So yes, this week brought some new releases, and this is all we had. Probably we'll wait for more because we're still in the tech seasons. So please, don't go nowhere. Subscribe, like, give some comments down there. Anything, we'll be glad to reply. So click the bell down there and then be around for more weekly updates like this one. Once again, Gideon, and see you again next week.
Only do it for the family. Yeah. We just climbing up a mountain. Falling down, but we bouncing. Reaching heights, staying grounded. Had to lose it just to say I found it. Now it's like my hands got a bounty. Wrapped up in smiles, but there's nothing that can bound me. Got a red dot on the nose for the people trying to clown me. See now how they truly feel. A yes man on her, not a shitty deal. In the field, doing anything just to get killed. To the death, find out I'm spraying out of eating still. Oh goddamn.